Look at what they're doing now and add it all up. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of misdirection. There's a lot of deception going on. But if you're paying attention to the news, all the information that's been coming out the last few months, it makes perfect sense. This article is titled A Third. Look at the dramatic change. But why? What else changed dramatically in that time? I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. A third of central banks cool on launching CBDCs over, quote unquote, this is what they claim, regulatory concerns. Now, I firmly believe this is super positive for the bank coin. Super positive. I had always imagined a climate where the banks would use the bank coin companies, the bank coin blockchains directly. I said this years ago. Can you even imagine? And here's another thing. You watch what's been going on. All the bank coin companies been taking countless meetings with the heads of banks, the heads of nations, all of these big asset managers. They've been lobbying them more and more. And they're about to be unleashed. And here's the thing. The banks never caught up. They never did. Thank goodness they didn't. So now I think it's become a thinking of where the banks are thinking this. They're like, well, we haven't caught up yet. Number one, we haven't finished developing these CBDC systems. Number two, nobody wants them. We'll lose customers because the people don't want anything that's labeled a CBDC. But they don't have to use CBDCs, do they? No, they don't. No, they never did. Now that crypto is about to be unleashed, like the powerhouse that it is, they can use an XRP. They can use a Chainlink, Solana, Stellar, Algorand, Quant, etc. They can use them. Whose name's been popping up a lot more lately when we're looking into a lot of these different partnerships coming out? Bankcoin companies. Their name's been popping up a lot lately. So they get to, if they want to, they get to circumvent the problem of losing customers, increased deposit flight. That deposit flight hasn't changed. People want to make money. They're becoming smarter. They don't want their money to go die in some savings account. They're going to money market funds, cash sweep accounts, crypto, commodities, etc. The banks have let it be known that they fear money market funds. They fear NBFIs. They fear everything. They've been losing to everybody. That doesn't mean they're not still doing good in the eyes of a lot of people that, because they're bringing in a little bit of capital, but they're not doing as well as they used to. And that's significant because for the first time, there's a significant threat unless they merge and congeal with the system, which is what they're doing. A third, I'm going to read it again, a third of central banks cool on launching CBDCs. The whole regulatory concern thing, in my humble opinion, is a lie. Everywhere across the world is becoming more regulatorily friendly towards DLT systems. Isn't that what they've all been reporting? Isn't that what they've all been saying? MICA and all that type of stuff like that. Misdirection. But this is what it says. Let's read just a little bit here. A survey from a central bank focused think tank found that fewer than 1 in 5 central banks are inclined to issue a central bank digital currency compared to 38% in 2022. So this dramatic change just happens to occur simultaneously with the rapid change in the regulatory environment for crypto, for DLT services. Come on. There's no coincidences here. None. Then listen, we've been covering this on this channel extensively. We've had representatives from the Fed come out and say it. Before them, the BIS came out and said it. We've had numerous other big time money making people say it, that the private sector should lead the way. This is why, once again, more evidence as to why they're saying there's this massive explosion coming for crypto, for DLT, for blockchain. And once again, I'm going to say also, watch AI. Watch AI. And you know what's interesting? If you go to payments.com, there should be an article up there, PYMNTS.com, payments.com, about AI. And what did I say before? Months ago, I said there's an explosion also coming for AI. It's going to be in combination with DLT. They're combining it with DLT. Keep that in mind. But I said you haven't seen the best of AI just yet. You haven't seen the real explosion in AI just yet. And that's whether you're someone who is going to implement AI or you're making money off of AI. You haven't seen the real explosion just yet. And there's an article up there with someone who's an expert saying the exact same thing. You haven't seen the best of AI yet, unless they took the article down. I doubt that they did. Listen, there's a technological new age coming, a golden age for money makers everywhere. That's where I come in. I'm here to make money off this stuff. All right. Yes. Do I utilize the technologies a minimum degree? Sure. But there's about to be a massive explosion to the likes of which, if people really, not financial advice, by the way, but if people really play their cards right, they may never have to really work again unless they choose to. I'm just being honest. Listen, in 2021, when I first arrived on the scene with crypto videos, a bunch of millionaires were made. That's one. Then at the start of this bull run last year, more millionaires were made. It was reported all over the place. Millionaires were made. Two, this next explosion should be significant. Anyone who's wise with their capital probably will never, ever have to worry about working again. If you do work, it's just because you want to build an empire, you want to extend and increase on that generational wealth. That's it, really. You don't have to agree with me. I don't know what people have. I'm just speaking from what I'm thinking and what's in my mind right now. That's it. All right. So you can disagree. I'm perfectly fine with that. But it's true. It is true. They know it's coming. That's why they're getting ready. They're lazy and they want a lot of money. I can't put it more plainly. They're going to ride the coattails of the XRPL. They're going to ride the coattails of Chainlink, Solana, etc. I'm telling you. They always do this. It's just that this time around, they took the shot at attempting to do it themselves. They failed. They failed dramatically. Even the Fed failed with their Fed now. They failed. That's why they try to hook up with Hedera and all these other companies now. That's not going. You're just becoming a part of the new financial system. Nobody wants to use them. Swift, they failed. No disrespect, they failed. They're going to have to work with someone. They're already working with Chainlink. Let's just put that out there. Let's get that straight. They're nothing without Chainlink. Look at all the heavy lifting. Go do your research on Chainlink and Swift, okay? Who were the other 4 companies Swift said they were going to work with? They never elaborated on that. Not that I heard. Have you heard it? I haven't heard it. Who were those other companies? You can't just, well, you can, they did. But I don't feel like you should be able to come out and say, hey, we're going to work with more DLT companies. And yet you never updated on who those companies are. Who were they? They did a good job with not having leaks, didn't they? Yes, they did. Nobody came out and leaked it. That's interesting. Sometimes you hear behind the scenes, if you're a content creator, let me tell you something. If you're a content creator, all types of people are going to reach out to you. You don't know who's real. You don't know who's fake. They're flooding your email, all types of stuff. Even if you take your email off the internet, they're still going to get your email. They're flooding your email. Everybody feels like they have some kind of inside information. You don't know what to believe. But I haven't heard anything. That's interesting. I haven't heard anything behind the scenes about Swift and who these other companies were they were going to work with. Is there a possibility they changed their mind? Sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. With fragmentation and increased tension between the U.S. and China and Russia and Latin America, all these, like now you got Canada and the U.S. tensions there. What that means for DLT, fragmentation, big money. They need a neutral connector. Increasingly, day by day, they need a neutral connector. Who's that going to be? Who has the connections with the most banks, people, huh? Just tell me, just one time, tell me. I can hear you through the screen. Ripple. Then you got to throw in all the rest of the bank coins. They have some banks also. Hedera has some banks. Stellar has some banks. Algorand has some banks. That's a fact. That's a fact. Solana says they want to take some banks. I think you want me to be 100% completely raw, honest, no pause. I think Solana, when they said they wanted to take some banks, I think Solana could do it easily. I do. Because you know why? Because they have so much respect. Why is Solana getting so much respect from these big companies? You tell me. For the last year, just randomly, it seems random to us, but obviously there's a cause for it. But it just seems like every once in a while, some major company comes out praising Solana, or some big money person comes out praising Solana. I've never seen, and it's so crazy because I'm not seeing the partnerships to match that energy. Although I love Solana, I think it's going to be huge in the future. Yes, all that good stuff. But they're not pumping out partnership announcements like Chainlink. They're not pumping out partnership information like Ripple. They're not. But all of these big timers so bullish on it over the last year or two. So that leads me to believe they're setting Solana up. You know, I know I'm jumping around here, but I have a lot of thoughts I want to give to you. But that leads me to believe they're setting Solana up for something. That's one. Two, they're definitely setting Ripple up for something. I can see it from a mile away. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. No way. This how you know it's rigged. How is it that although the regulatory environment is changing and you got this positive energy around crypto, just all of a sudden, Garlinghouse is able to have a close relationship with the White House just out of nowhere? You believe that this wasn't set up? That conversations didn't take place years in advance? I don't believe that. No, this has been a setup from the beginning. They always knew which way this would go, and they bought themselves some time. They bought themselves time to get in a dominant position, especially the U.S. The U.S. knew this is rigged. They're going, listen, there's so many things I want to say. I have so little time. They want to pump that price. In my humble opinion, they want to pump that. They haven't done it yet. They've been very smart about staying low key with it, not making people too bullish. The people aren't too bullish. They're not. They're not. I think we're going to see something interesting now. We read that article the other day where they said, what did they say? Attention is coming away from meme coins. They showed that with statistics. The attention is coming away from meme coins and is going back to real regular cryptos. Folks, mark my words. If you see something else, some sort of distraction or distractive variable come out of nowhere, and then suddenly the attention's going back away, rapidly going back away from legit coins to whatever the other distraction is. I don't know what it might be. Maybe it goes back to meme coins. I don't know. People love quick money. But if you see that happening, I feel 100% it's orchestrated because they don't want people too bullish on those legit coins. They don't, because the big businesses haven't gotten into position yet. We read multiple articles where over 70% of them are either not into crypto or there's some reason they haven't begun to work with it yet. But then we're seeing articles saying they all want to get in. Majority of them want to get in. Something, I'm telling you now, there's no way they leave that just juggling in the air. There's no way. There's no way they leave all that money on the table. No way. And I think with the government, the governments want to make money as well. They want money and power. Let's just be clear about it. They want money and they want power, and crypto is power. You can control what people are making money off of or what they spend. That's power. They want it. But I think the government also is waiting like, wait a minute. Let those businesses get in. Hold on. Say we're gonna announce our presence to speed things up. That makes sense, right? Because why would you don't need to announce anything if you're a government. If you're a government, you just act, just do it. So why I always question that about someone. You say you're gonna do something before you do it. I just don't see how that's reasonable. Just do it. Don't tell me you're gonna climb the mountain, just climb the mountain. Don't tell me you're gonna fight, just fight. Don't tell me you're going to get fit. Just get fit. Just become fit, right? You do it. I'm a doer. Maybe that's why I always look at that with a questioning eye, quizzically. Governments don't have to say, we're going to go into Bitcoin. We're thinking about a Bitcoin reserve. Just start one. But you do that when you want to pressure someone. There's someone out there. There's something out there you want to pressure. It's a technique. This is chess, not checkers. It's a technique. They're setting something up. Yes, I'm excited because we're living through a historical event. We got in super early and we know how to move. Listen, I know this from the members only section. I'm telling you, go check out the last members only video I put out. We know how to move. People know how to move quickly if they want to capitalize. And they know that. That's why they're being real careful. I told you, they've been doing research on how smart and how much research people have been doing over the last 3 to 4 years. Okay. And they've seen that people have been learning about all types of ways to move in and out of things quickly. Whereas before, the size of the population that knew how to do things like that when it came to crypto was very small. There was a lot of people who were still at a entry level. Not anymore. There's so many people out there smart at making money now. Now everyone, all these big timers have to be careful. They don't want to get people too excited before they pump the price, and they are going to pump it. They're not here to play any games. Here's the difference this time around. The regular people, mark my words, the regular people are ready to snap into action. They're ready to take profit when things start going nuts. They know exactly how to move in and out from this asset to that asset to this asset to that protective asset. They know exactly how to boom, how to do it. There's going to be a lot of people's lives changed forever. In my humble opinion, once again, not financial advice. You don't have to agree with anything I say. And their lives going to be changed. They're going to be much more comfortable. A lot of people already have seen that. And that's another thing. Word of mouth. My apologies. This is going to be a video. I'm just sharing my thoughts. Okay. I think they're powerful thoughts. Keep these things in mind as we move into the future. Word of mouth is powerful. Now, what people are not talking about is from 2021 up to the bull run when it started last year. All of these different people that made a lot of money, they started to build networks. They started to build websites. They started to build private groups and all of this. And they're sharing what happened to them, that this is possible. This did happen to me. I did make millions. This is how I did it and stuff like that. They're sharing it with family members and friends and people that, are just joining their groups and things. So another thing that I'm watching out for is the how they treat Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, I look at it as a tester of sorts, a control mechanism. Listen, something I've been putting a lot of thought to is I think and I'm going to say allow. I think they're going to allow Bitcoin at some point in 2025 to absolutely explode. But wait, that's not it. Because you're saying, well, make a lot of people saying that. Well, no, wait a minute. I mentioned this before about 2 months ago. And my mind, I've been getting a little bit more solid on these thoughts as I hear more and more predictions about Bitcoin, opinions on Bitcoin. I see what the governments are trying to do around the world with Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people, flow with me here, a lot of people have gotten into Bitcoin very early. And I'm not saying from them they've been in since the beginning. You remember when Bitcoin dropped down to the $20,000s of dollars, $30,000s of dollars, people were scooping up some Bitcoin. Oh yeah, when everybody else ran away, they were scooping up. A lot of people did that. That's pretty early still. So now you have the people that have been in Bitcoin heavy since the beginning. You have the people that have been stacking Bitcoin every single day. They really believe in dollar cost averaging. You have the people scooping it up throughout the bloody bear market because they saw the opportunity that was there. There's a lot of regular people holding some Bitcoin. You saw the article from the video yesterday. If you didn't see that video yesterday, watch it. It was potent, in my opinion. Very potent. But a lot of regular people are still dominating Bitcoin. They put that information out there. You think that these powers don't know that? They see it. They know it. If I'm them, I try to think with 360 degrees of mind. I understand my perspective. I'm trying to hear your perspectives. And I'm thinking about what are the so-called powers' perspective? What's their vision? I don't see them allowing that. So they've made it clear through their actions, number one, and through their research, number two, like the BIS been researching, DeFi is not decentralized. Remember all that? Like 3 different documents over 3 years. Why? Why do you do that unless you're trying to figure out how to control it? Then they showed that you can control it. They want to control Bitcoin. You can't do that if over 60% of dominance in Bitcoin are regular people, retail traders. If over 60% of them are controlling Bitcoin, no. So then they came up with the article yesterday talking about, oh, well, they would have to buy Bitcoin. They would have to buy the Bitcoin from the retail regular people. Really? Oh, you must not know how vicious and bloodthirsty, cutthroat these governments and big businesses are. Oh, they'll set you up. Oh, they will set you up. I think so. Now circling back around, and I hope I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I want Bitcoin to just explode, to just keep going up for a long time. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they'll let it explode. Everybody's going to be cheering, celebrating. I'm talking about the most insane euphoria you've ever seen. All coins will be exploding. And then guess what? I think they'll find some way to tank it. I do. I think they'll tank it. It'll be terrible. They'll rip you out of euphoria. It's going to be they're going to put psychological pressure on people. People will start to sell. They'll start to lament. Woe is me. Oh, crypto bad again. Oh, crypto is done. Is dead. They'll sell. Bitcoin will plummet in value. I don't know how low. I'm not saying that. It will plummet in value. I'm just painting a possible scenario I've been thinking about. It will plummet in value. They'll hit. This is when they'll start using their advertising money, these big timers. They'll use the advertising money to blitz the public saying Bitcoin bad, Bitcoin bad. That'll push the price down because it's going to hit people psychologically even more because a majority of people out there, let's just keep it real, are very, very subject to news media. They believe what the news media says. They're affected by it deeply, and they'll blitz them over time with it. That'll make the price go down even more. So now maybe it's not over 60% retail investors that control Bitcoin anymore. Maybe that lessens. Who knows how much they want it to lessen? Sometimes a little bit is a lot to the right people, right? To the big time, a little bit might be a lot. Then they buy up the Bitcoin. While everyone's lamenting, they start buying up that Bitcoin. By proxy, a little here, a little there, adds up to a lot in their pockets, right? In their vaults, their banks, their cold wallet, whatever. Then the push begins. You see a green line, you just wake up one morning and Bitcoin is just going up. We've seen it happen before, not as majorly as I think it's going to be in the future. We've seen signs of it before. You ever stop to think, is that a test? Why did it just go up like that? Why do all some of these cryptos just streak with the littlest catalyst? You think about that? Maybe it's a test to see. Anyone who has the proper capital and is wise enough would test the waters. They would research. It's like scientific experimentation. They would do that before they make a major move. It's just like combat. Before I take you down with a double leg, I'm gonna flinch at you a couple times, put my hand in your face a couple times, see how you react. I'm dead serious. I just want to see how you react. What's your reaction time like? Maybe we do some wrist fighting. Get in a wrist fight, grapple with you a little bit. I just want to test your strength a little bit. You don't know. You might not know what I'm doing. A lot of people are on automated mode. They're not thinking like that, but I am. I'm testing the waters. Then I take you down. Maybe they're doing that. They test the waters a couple of times. And when they're certain, then they strike. Boom. Double leg takedown. They take it down. Is it possible? I think it's possible. You let me know. So I have a lot more thoughts, but I'm going to leave it at that for today. Gave some Bitcoin thoughts. I have a lot of those. Some Bitcoin thoughts, let me know in the comment section what you think. We shall see. It's about to get interesting, folks. I'm telling you it is. Keep your eyes peeled. So now that you have the information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to, I don't know what that was. Let's get to the money.